Welcome to the Kinflow Podcast, where we come to the people in love by speaking the truth, truth to power. I'm your host, Big Pound. This is my co-host.
Busy
Introduce
B.
introduce yourself, Busy B. Um, we come to y'all today, talk about a few things that's going on in the world. Um, if you like it, hit the like button. Share this with some of your friends if you find this informative. And let's go. What's up with you, kinfolk?
Man, living a life, trying to find a dream.
Already. So you sent me this video, man. I might have to play it from my phone, right? But
hmm
tell the people a little bit about the video you sent me with the rendition of the national anthem.
So basically, a friend of mine was asking me if I've heard the Black Anthem. And I was like, not really sure that I have. So he played it. And when he played it, which is sung by Jill Scott. And if anybody don't know about Jill Scott, she is very talented artist and can really blow. She can sing very well, and she sang this rendition of the anthem, and it just blew me away, just because of what the words are and the description of how it's being said or the meaning behind that anthem pertaining to the black people or the black culture.
Let's listen. Let me see if I can see it real quick. Okay. I'll just put it by the phone so you can hear this. Sound like it was going down in there.
Whose blood built this land? Check it
Right.
out.
Mm. Man, that's gospel right there. Does this truth hold any weight? This is not the land of the free.
Mm. Mm. I'm out.
Man, did you really get up? You got up on that?
Yes, I did. Yes, I did.
So what made you think what sparked Jill Scott to come up with that? Because it couldn't have been off the top of the head. She had to write that.
I have
Uh,
no idea. I wasn't even aware of that. I don't even know when it came out.
you don't know what inspired her to do that?
Nah, I haven't done any research on it. Just
Research. You need research to know why she would sing a song like that.
I'm not in her head. I can't speak for
But
for her.
you in the same world she in, right?
Yeah. So
So
when you ask me what inspired her, there's a lot of things in the song itself that could
pick one.
inspire her.
Pick one.
Just as
You
she
can
said,
you can guess.
this country was built on the blood of us.
Hmm. I agree.
Uh, this is not the home of the free because the free didn't build this nation. We
Hmm.
did, and I
Hmm.
don't think we were free at the time.
Man.
So yeah, it's a lot of things that inspired her to write this. I just know when I heard the song,
No.
uh, it
Sound
just
like
touched.
gospel.
It just touched me, man. Been in
So
the been in the
now
military 27 years, and then we stand on that national anthem anyway. Land of the free, home of the brave.
yeah,
Uh,
it wouldn't be no freedom if it wasn't for people like yourself. Um, but at the same time, when you see all the injustices going on in America, man, it's hard not to resonate with that song. It's very hard. Um, she just spoke the truth about a lot of things that a lot of Black Americans already sit with every day. So she kind of spoke for the people, you know. We continuously see uh, Black people murdered on camera, whether that's propaganda or not. People are getting murdered. Um, Yeah, so I could see that. I could see her sitting down and reworking the whole national anthem and changing it. I could see it.
yeah,
But shout out to Jill Scott, you know. Uh
definitely.
yeah. I don't I hope that she doesn't get any kind of backlash from this song, which I'm sure she probably already has, but um people just need to stand behind what's real and what's right. And stop trying to be politically correct all the time. You know, we got a lot of people coming to this country, man, that don't really look at us as Black Americans with a favorable view. I mean, I really don't care, but I mean, you got people coming over here talking shit about Black Americans, and they not even from here. And I ain't against nobody trying to have a better life for them and their family, but that's like if somebody say, "Cuz I'm gonna come spend the night with you," and when they come over your house, they just smear mud all over your couch, like Rick James. I mean, that's kind of like what's going on. They got all kind of bills, um, considering letting people that are not citizens of America become police to police the citizens of America. So I mean, what do you think about that concept of a person that's not a citizen of the United States of America, something that you defended, gave your service to, and they can come over here and be a police officer and have your life basically in their hands at their own discretion.
Well, what about people that have work visas that come over here?
Man, I wouldn't give a damn if they not citizens. You shouldn't be able to be no police officer.
Well, my reason I bring that up is because if you have a work visa and you can come over here and work, right?
Mm-hmm.
You don't have to be a police officer to potentially jeopardize somebody else's life or have control over someone's situation to where you could make a life changing decision for that
Right.
person. Um, Police officers are to protect and serve. Someone coming over here and isn't a United States citizen and doing that, my question is, why are we leaning toward having a bill passed for those kind of circumstances to even arise? Why aren't we able to have those that are United States citizens uh, fulfill the jobs? Why are we outsourcing, in a sense, to create a bill to where someone that's not a citizen come in and be able to be a police?
Well,
You
let me put my big thinking brain hat on and shit. It's to suppress us, man. Again, a lot of these people that come over here, they already got an idea of what they think that we are, right? You agree with that? They already got an ideal of what they see, far as what they see on TV portrayed in movies and whatever that they see on social media. But that's not a representation of black people. But they still, a lot of them, um, when they come over here, they seem to align with the system that we live under, like side with the side of the people that murdered all of our ancestors and took over by force.
so
They seem to go along with that ideology clearly, clearly.
so
Uh,
when you say they come over here and they see us a certain way, is that a way where are you saying in a stereotypical way,
yeah,
or
like we lazy, we don't like to work, we got great opportunities. Black people just don't do this, black people don't do that.
now
Again,
I'm sure that's I'm sure it's a
and I'm not
percentage
speaking in absolutes, like I'm not trying to say that everybody thinks this way, but a big majority of people do. Because I
that
see
come
it
over
on,
here.
yeah, that, some people are told not to mess with American blacks because we're no good. That's what they're being told. um I'm sure we got some brothers, and I done interviewed a dude from Africa that was a rapper before. um so no qualms with nobody seeking a better life. I just hate the disrespect. I hate the down talking. Um, I dislike all of it.
So
Um,
for me, it's like this. I put in 27 years in the military to defend and protect this country, so
mhm,
everybody can have equal rights and to speak their piece however they want to,
right.
without any judgment, what have you, unless they're going to hurt or harm somebody.
Hmm.
Anybody that comes into this country or be a participant in this nation, they have the right to say what they want, see things as they want, and so on and so forth, just as anybody else, myself, you, can speak on. We have stereotypes. Everybody stereotypes everybody. So, from my perspective, I don't give a damn that they can look and say whatever they can feel whatever.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Because I feel
Mhm.
the same way. Uh, I feel the same way.
About what? About what?
I feel the same. I have my own thoughts and opinions as to people coming over here, just as well as if I go over to their country. They have their thoughts and opinions. When I was in Germany, any American that came over there, uh, certain ethnicities over there didn't care for us, and
Right.
they expressed that. You know, they didn't want us
Hmm.
there. So even being in your own country, and they don't want you in your own country that you live in to fight and protect. You go to another country, they treat you the same way. So it's like shit. I'm comfortable.
So
This is nothing new.
the bullshit, the racism is worldwide and global.
Oh
Yes.
yeah. Oh yeah. Of course.
Um.
Yes.
Well, I mean, how do people deal? Okay, just switch gears a little bit. We still on the same thing, but how do they deal with, like, the mainstream media floods the news waves with um bad information? Like, not saying that it's not real, but when you see all these school shootings and you see a black person getting killed every other day or every other week, what are some steps that a person can take to just kind of balance that shit out, man?
Black people police black people and not worry about how somebody else need to police us. We can go out there and be ignorant to the fact and act like however we want to act without thinking there's going to be any kind of consequences. Uh, just because the playing field isn't level and everybody gets the same amount of respect or tools to fight with does not mean that you still go in thinking that uh, okay, all I have is a stick and this person has a pistol. It'd be ignorant of me to try to take on somebody with a pistol. I have to think about how I'm gonna use what it is that it I'm gonna have to think about what it is that I have as far as my resources in combating this individual that has a pistol. Does that mean I'm gonna go straight in at him? No, not at all. I'm gonna think about how I'm gonna go at him because I can sneak up on him, hit him in the back of the head with the stick. He drops the pistol. Now I get the pistol. Now I have the leverage and I have the upper hand. It's a way to go through everything. Just because you're not giving everything as everybody else, don't mean that you still can't put up a fight. That's how I see
And I agree. Uh, so with this Title 42, have you heard anything about that? Do you know
it.
what it is?
I seen it briefly, and I think it had everything to do. And you can correct me. It had everything to do with limitations to how immigrants come over here to the United States.
Right.
Yeah.
Correct.
Mhm.
So, um, things got to be really like messed up, right? Because people are fleeing, they're crossing the river, they're taking chances, right, to get over here.
Shit. Right now, they're lined up at the border.
Yes, they are.
They wait. They are waiting
You know,
on it. They're on a countdown right
again, I salute anybody that want to try to create a better life, a better situation for their families. But when y'all come over here, man, y'all got to understand the history of this country. For you ones that don't understand it, I mean, we still fighting the fight over here. We're still trying to get, as you said earlier, equal rights, even though black people are the only group of people that have fought in every major war that this country's had. We still are fighting for justice. I mean, we're still fighting. I won't say the same battles that our ancestors fought, but we kind of are, bro. We kind of, it's like we on a loop, bro. Like with the we on a loop because the population gets older, right? And the teachers and the people that pass down the information, they pass away and they transition. Well, then the next generation picks it up. But now what's happening is they're watering down us. They watering us down so bad. They watering us down, bro. Like, um, a lot of kids are not. They don't even know like basic things that our people went through to get us to this point, right?
now.
And they might touch on Martin Luther King or the mainstream activists, but it's a lot of people that fought and put they blood in this soil to get us to this point. And if I'm not mistaken, it took a million people to get me to this point, and it took a million and something people to get you to this point. So it's a lot of people that went through a lot of struggles, and to have people that's not even from here that's fleeing their country, right? They fleeing, right? They leaving their country because whatever the reason is, they're coming over here, and then they adopt the mindset of the oppressor, whether it be a person coming from Mexico or a person that's coming from one of the islands or Africa. It's too much. It's too much disrespect of the people that played fullback and cleared the hole to get you here, right?
Hmm.
So when we get benefits, when they say they're going to do something for black people, usually that means everybody. There's never been nothing signed ever that just was for us. It's always got to include everybody. But when everybody else get benefits, it don't never include us.
Mm-hmm. You're right.
So, um,
You're absolutely right about
what's
that.
what's some ways, bro? Like I'm curious again, as somebody that fought for this country, and you doing good, and but it still got to be hard knowing like what you fought for, what our daddies fought for, what our uncles fought for, and all the people before them, for it to be like this. Um, Black people are exceptional people because, for one, look at our heart, look at what we put up with, right? And we keep pushing, we keep believing, we keep hoping. Um, but there's always a counter force that's trying to drag us back down off into the mud, rather it be through propaganda, trying to paint us in a certain light. I showed you the cartoon, right? You seen
Mm-hmm.
the cartoon, right?
Right.
We'll say that for another day, but
Right.
um, yeah, I'm just kind of I want to find some ways to kind of
You know
change.
what? You brought up that about the cartoon. You mentioned the cartoon. I think it would be perfect for this discussion right now because the thing, and why I say that is because if the viewers could actually see that cartoon, they'd have a big they whatever their perspective is right now, just from being told how it was back then. There
Mm-hmm.
to see that cartoon, uh, it would definitely add even more flavor to that perspective that they have to know how that cartoon was and to understand that we were kids at the time when those cartoons was coming. We grow up, then we have kids. Well, our mentality is predicated off of that that we saw when we were young. And until we start understanding and growing to see and know better, then we started changing things. And then when we have our kids, guess what? We're changing the dynamics of that thought process. And when we're changing those dynamics and still at the same time dealing with some of those things that kind of set us back, but we're still making progress. I think that cartoon would be beneficial to everybody that's listening right now because of what it is that we're talking about. It
Yeah,
just I don't know if you could bring it up, but yeah, those
yeah.
cartoons back then and the message that they were, what it was implying and creating a strong reinforcement of stereotyping. Yeah,
Well, we'll get into that next episode because I really don't want to mess the stream up. But
gotcha.
um, if viewers or listeners or viewers of YouTube or the podcast, wherever you get your podcast, matter of fact, download the podcast, share the podcast. If you like the podcast, come back next week and we're gonna build again. But for right now, it's called the most racist cartoon ever. I'm sure if you Google it or not Google it, if you type it in on YouTube, I'm sure it'll pop up. But next week, I have that video ready. Um, it's always been, especially at the beginning of TV, we've always been portrayed as monsters. If you look, I mean, you can just think about the movies that you know growing up as a kid. It don't even seem the same no more. Like me and my cousin literally used to play with the General Lee. We used to argue who was going to be Bo and who was going to be Luke. Right? We didn't know that we had the damn Confederate flag, what that flag meant on top of the car. Right? They brought the
Wow.
car to the National Guard. We love Dukes of Hazzard. You couldn't tell us nothing wrong about Dukes of Hazzard, but it was all wrong. And I understand why none of our parents ever told us about this shit because they wanted us to be kids for as long as possible. Um, you can go to the zombie movies, the original zombie movies was black people, and they portrayed us as zombies. You know, King Kong, the big strong buck only calms down when the blonde haired white woman is in his midst, and then he doesn't want to tear buildings up anymore. Planet of the Apes. Yeah, man, you you just say all the drug. I mean, when I watch movies, I really don't see it the same anymore because when I see our catalog of movies, all I see is violence, um, drug dealing stories, right? Nigga sold 100 keys, right?
Mhm.
Uh, murder, jacking, like where's
Yep.
our movies? I mean, because when they make movies, they paint pictures. That's what movies are. They paint pictures and they create an identity for the people that they're creating the movie about. If you get 50 movies about smart guys in business suits and doing business stuff in those tall skyscrapers, that's what their identity is going to be. I mean, if
Well,
you,
if you speed up to now and you look at a movie called or named Power, you see all that you just described in
yes,
tall buildings,
and
business suits,
yeah,
but they selling drugs and just on a whole nother
yeah,
level of technology.
and I love Power. Shout out to 50 Cent.
Mhm.
But I'm saying we need diversity though, because all black people are not the same. We're not what's the word? A monolith. We're not none of that. We're not uh even me with the background I got. I don't deal with none of that no more. I'm a grown man. It's a path to nowhere. Um so I say it all that to say just be mindful of what you let your kids ingest. Uh I'm pretty glad that my kids don't even really like TV like that, and they don't like watching commercials and all of that. So I'm kind of blessed on that side. I don't have to worry about that. Um,
So let me ask you this: what do you think right now on TV is more detrimental, the the drugs or the alphabet community trying to push their agenda?
uh, I think anytime.
Oh, before you go
All
in on it, let me
right,
let me clear this, make this perfectly clear why I bring that up between the two differences. Um, drugs is something that tears down the community,
yeah,
and it's something that's brought into a community so that people can take advantage of other people. And
yeah,
it's a agenda that's being, not agenda, but it's a capitalistic way to make money illegally, and it destroys people's lives because of what it does to them when they take it.
yeah,
Now, in comparison, not in comparison, but on the same level of effect, the alphabet community has their own views and opinions as feeling equal, uh, and going about it as to say we don't have the same rights as others, and this is why we feel the need to put what we're going through in children's books to edify them or to educate them to understand our path and what we're going through, and the details and the level of competency for an elementary child in comparison to an adult. There's no filter, and that creates a lot of confusion and complex uh, thought processes, which affects that child growing up. The same, almost, if not the same, effect drugs have on someone. So that's why I make that comparison. Not to
yeah,
bash.
It
or
is a
to,
comparison. It's
or
a good
well,
comparison.
yeah. Well, not to try to bash the community,
Right.
but to make a to put it out there to let it be known that it's an agenda that's being pushed from that community that is a conflict of interest to a lot of uh, people when it comes to them and their children that they do not like,
Right.
just as drugs. So that's why I bring it up. And anybody that has any uh, feelings that might think that he's homophobic or whatever the case, any negative thing, well, you can kiss my and I'll leave it at that. Other than that, it is what it is, and that's just how I rock and I roll. It's affecting things, and that's why we're talking about
Yeah, man, I don't have no problem with people being who they are, right? But just don't, you can't force feed that stuff to people, man. And you definitely shouldn't be talking about it with kids because they're kids. Um, when you do talk about it with kids, um, more than likely, if they don't have any kind of guidance, backup, like parents, good parents as yourself, um, they tend to. That's the gateway almost. Like, why are you discussing something so complex with a kid that doesn't have any business discussing sex or anything like that with kids? That is disgusting. We seen a few weeks ago, 3 weeks ago, the Tibetan monk tell the little boy to suck his tongue, and all that came from that was an apology, and you never heard nothing else about it. But maybe it's
Where's the
different.
outrage of the parents?
Maybe it's different laws in different countries.
Yeah.
But still disgusting, regardless of what part of the world you in. To me, is disgusting, and I'm sure to you, it's disgusting as well because I know you. But
Of course.
a
Yeah.
lot of people are very quiet. Um, I just don't understand that part. But I would say back to your question, man, drugs is just as devastating, if not more, because, like you said, it erodes the foundation of the home, the person that's taking the drugs, right? It
Hmm.
causes them to deteriorate, far as physically and mentally, and probably financially and morally and spiritually, because a lot of people that do drugs find themselves doing things for drugs when they don't have money. So it's really a trickle down effect. A lot of us didn't understand that, how deep it was back when we was in the mix, for the people out there that was in the mix and changed their life. um, when I was out in the streets, and I done it for a short period of time, my conscience and my spirit was talking to me even when I didn't know it was talking to me, because I wasn't a very good drug dealer at all. I wasn't. I had a heart. Like, to do that shit, you got to be heartless. You got to not care. You got to not give a damn about the person, their family, or none of that, to actually be able to thrive in that. My heart was too much, man. So I wasn't very good at that shit. So, I think it's terrible, man. I think it's. I'm not. I'm not sitting here trying to be holier than thou. Uh, but the truth of the matter is, it's poison. There's nothing good that comes from drugs. For one, it's gonna mess the family up, and when they do catch you, because they will catch you, because technology is out of control right now, and it's getting even better. They can almost predict when people's gonna do something before they do it. Minority Report. Go watch that movie, Minority Report. Um, yeah, man, that's probably the worst thing I've ever done. Is sold drugs to my people. That's one of the that's that's one of my things that I would never ever do again, bro. Um, no amount of money is worth it. Like I said, it destroys the mom. If the mom is on it, destroys the dad, and he might be the provider. It can't provide no more. then the kids go hungry, then the kids get sick, then the kids don't got clean clothes and clean environment. Man, it could be a roller coaster ride down
Yeah.
the hill. So having this perspective on it, man, I hope that anybody that's listening, maybe you was into that life, maybe you still in that life. You might want to try to transition into something that's more productive, and it's going to cost you time, and it's going to cost you. I won't. I won't go to the church adjectives with it, but it could cost you your soul, man. Because
Excuse
once you start feeding poison to your people, that's got to do something. The money is temporary, but what can I say, man? What can I say?
you know, with all that being said,
I don't know if I went on the spiel or not, but
no, you good, man. You good. With all that being said, with even looking to say, okay, if I had the same opportunities as the next man, the other man, would I reach out and do those kinds of things? For myself, I would probably say no. I'd probably be doing the same thing this person is doing because they got the same opportunities, and therefore I'm gonna do it.
right,
But since I'm set back into a psychological predicament of understanding and where my place is to be without my own choice of that being the facts, um, and what's handed to me, I did the best of what it is that I only know to do. But once I grow from that, and as it's been said, when you know better, you do better. Then you take advantage of the opportunities that's in front of you now, and you grow from that. So to go to, as you reference to those that might still be in the game doing those things, don't allow your ego to sink your boat. If you are able, wherever you are right now in the game or what it is that you're doing, and you doing good, create a plan that's going to be quick and effective to get out of that game and ride off the opportunities that game already put you up on stage to take advantage of. You don't have to stay in that game. Get off your ego. Take care of those that you do love, and be around for them for later on in life. Because right now, what you're doing, it shortens your lifespan real quick, and you're looking over your shoulder every day. So get out of it. Get out of it and change it up. If you got in the game and it propels you to get a car, get a house, things like that, you don't have no bills, but you just splurging your money and everything, man, stop what you're doing, find your job, and
no
continue on.
problem. Yeah,
Set
for
yourself
sure.
up. Set yourself up for something.
Already.
You want to be
Um,
around for your little ones.
man, and I'm telling you, not just with the drugs, but with the senseless to transition into another uh conversation attached to this conversation. The senseless violence, man, is out of control. It's almost as bad as the drugs, because if kids are outside playing at the park and two rival sets or whatever get to shooting, nobody's caring if the kids get hit anymore. Nobody, that's I think that's one thing why a lot of black people always um like mob movies, because it was structure, right? You had to get the okay, right, to go hit somebody. And then when you go hit that person, you just hitting that person. You're not killing kids. You're not,
Hmm.
it's rules and structures. I think that's why we kind of like that. But when you see the man that sell 500 pounds of heroin, right? We know heroin is one of the most destructive drugs there is on earth, right?
Hmm.
Um, and then a person can just go have a turkey giveaway. That's kind of like, man, you wouldn't have to give turkeys to the hood if you wasn't taking all their money.
Exactly. It's that that's almost like the bank having, okay, you go to the bank and you deposit your money into a savings account or a checking account, and they tell you, okay, well, you create this savings account, and that's a good thing. While your money is sitting in that savings account, we'll give you a percentage back off the money that you have in there. And that percentage is going to be either 1% or less than 1%
Point five zero. Point
while,
five zero.
yes, while they use your money
Flipping
in,
it.
in the stocks, in the bonds and everything else, and just give you that little bit of a percentage back. They getting all this money off the dividends and everything else.
Yes.
So the same way with that. It's
Yeah.
just it's sad. So why
And
do it to yourself?
I like I like how Charleston White be coming at a lot of people. We
Uh-oh, wait a minute, wait a minute.
we
Uh-oh,
talked about it
wait a minute.
offline, right? We talked about it
Uh-oh.
offline, right? Uh,
Oh, you bringing in CW.
yeah,
Oh, wait a
CW.
minute.
Uh,
Okay.
this ain't a cloud chase, Charleston, or maybe it might be. Uh, but I like the way that he disrupts the norm. I love it.
Oh,
Uh,
let me say this real quick, because I've hit chart CW. I'm just say CW. I didn't hit him up a couple of times while he's been live,
right,
and I'm the one that keep telling you, keep it up, Slim Jim. Your
right.
nappy haired, one eyed Slim Jim looking fool. Because what you're doing is very effective, and I appreciate it. It's inspiring, and keep them laughing. I keep saying the same thing to him. So if you ever wonder who that is, it's me, and not running from it, because I rock with you.
So if we had more people like that, I think this thing will be pretty much cleaned up pretty fast, man. I like the way he puts the spotlight, and he might reverse it, he might flip it upside down, but it always comes back to real truth. So shout out to CW, Charleston White, Texas native. Um, when I first heard about him, I kind of went and did a little research, and what caught my eye is that he was having a camp for kids out there by in some cabins. I'm not sure exactly where it was, but man, that's the whole goal of all of this. Is to protect these babies and teach them something different. So again, salute to you, man.
Oh
Anything,
yeah.
salute
Hey.
to salute to Charleston White. Um, but yeah, man, the drug dealing thing, to put a cap on that, like I said, I don't, I know people were at different stages of their life, but please believe somebody that's been to prison, um, and it wasn't for that long, but it was long enough to teach me that I don't want to go back again. And I have partners in there that, 20, 25, 24, 15 years, like, and man, it's definitely sad, man, because people, again, if you go, if you still want to, I mean, they are really giving people a lot of time, man. And while while you in jail, life still's happening outside, right? So you got people that pass away. Um, your girl needs. So I mean, even if you even if you do got a plan, and like Kinfolk said, if you got a plan, you should implement that plan as soon as possible, because that's one of the things that, if they get you off the board, right, Kinfolk? If they take you off the board, you off the board. There is no getting on the board, back on the board. So just move smart out here, do something good, do something different, turn that money into something positive, and try to make up for the grimy shit you had to do to get it. Far as the violence, man, we got to start valuing other people's lives. We got to start valuing life, period.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, this is not a video game. This is not, you don't get to push respawn. You don't get to come back. It's over. And then your life is over because you gone. You in a box. You in a 8x8 cell where your shitter is right next to your bed. And then they open that little slot telling you, well, here's your bread and your bologna and your mixed fruit. And then you out of there. That's it. Like you. So know a lot of people don't want to hear this, and I thank everybody if you're still listening to this for rocking with us. Um, Again, if you could share, like, leave a review, leave us some comments. Maybe it's something you want us to talk about. Maybe it's something that you didn't like. We said we welcome all comments. Just be respectful. We will not tolerate any form of disrespect, none whatsoever. So, yeah, you got anything, Kinfolk?
Um, uh,
Yeah, I like your cowboy hat. Yeehaw!
hey,
Yeehaw!
appreciate that.
Already.
And I'm pretty sure you know history behind the Cowboys.
Yeah, we the first black people are the first cowboys.
Thank you.
You bring that up. The Lone Ranger is based on Bass Reeves. Bass Reeves was the first U.S. Marshal. Yeah.
Okay. And I'm sure a lot of people did not know that, let alone the younger generation, ain't even knowing what Lone Ranger is or was.
Hey, bro, I was watching. Speaking of, the cowboy angle that you asked me, the head of the Black Farmers Association of America. Can you guess what his name is?
Nah,
He got the same name as one of our uncles.
John,
Yep,
is that right? Okay,
John Boyd. His name is actually John Boyd.
get out of
A
here.
big, like he used to play for the Patriots or something, but he's an
Mm-hmm.
older guy. But yeah, he's the and speaking of farmers and injustice, I mean, you can go research it, and I just thought about this off the top of the head, so we didn't get to do any preparation for this. But man, they was at one time selling the farmers fake seeds.
Wow,
So when they grow their crops, they sabotaging even the farmers, bro.
that's home of the brave
Man,
in the free.
we're gonna try to have that
Yeah,
clip
yeah.
for y'all next episode. We're gonna try to have the clip so y'all can see because he
And it,
got the
yeah.
words. We just kind of wanted to shout out Jill Scott because I thought that was beautiful. Um,
Mm-hmm. Yes.
but yeah, the Cowboys, man, it's the same thing with we used to be a lot of the Cowboys because we the ones that knew the land. We was here.
Mm-hmm.
The same thing with building stuff. Like it used to be a lot of us into building, being masons and stuff like that. But now, again, we're being replaced. If people can't see that we're being replaced, I think you need to open your eyes and you need to look around and study what's going on around you because this thing is not slowing down at all. Um, Shout out to everybody looking for a better life, but not at the expense of my people. Uh, but that's how it's going. So
You know, I'll say this, and I'm probably gonna get some backlash
man,
on this, but the
say
thing
what you
is this.
do what you do. Top of the
Uh,
morning.
exactly. Um, you know, it hurts me to say my people because I really can't identify with what my people are other than just the color of our skin
Yeah, for
because we
sure.
don't carry ourselves in a way where we can identify to a culture that shows togetherness, and that's where we need to get back to. That's where we need to find our roots so that we can um, continue going forward with a better mindset. We have so many opportunities that's in front of us, so many platforms that we can stand on, regardless of whatever things that can go against that. The thing is, we're on the platform. You can't fight if you're not in the ring. We're able to be in
Amen.
that ring. So, but when we are in the ring, we don't put on the gloves. We jump on the rope, run around in the corners. We're not even up in front of the person that we're fighting. We're
Man,
entertaining, and that's the problem.
right.
If we're going to be on a platform, we need to represent to show how we get down, how we do things, the essence of the power that we have on the inside, the love that we have in our hearts for everybody. And like they say, love conquers all. Maybe that's why we don't understand that if we don't use it, we can't conquer anything. Therefore, we stay in the back and think that we have nothing at all. That's all I got to say.
Man, that's real shit right there. Um, man, this has been fun, bro.
Yeah.
We almost at that time, but what was I gonna ask you, man? That was a question that I just slipped my mind. I think I'm losing it.
I don't think it slipped your mind, man. You probably gonna ask me something about.
Oh man, this what I was gonna do. Um, we was talking earlier about the image of black people, how we portrayed on TV and all of that stuff like that, right?
Uh-huh.
But I wanna salute you, bro, for being a stand up dad, just a stand up human being. Period. A stand up man, a man of integrity, and a man that handles his business, man. So, um, I just wanted to say that. I just wanted to salute you for that, man, because
Appreciate you.
I don't think things like that get highlighted enough. Um,
Appreciate you.
uh, yeah. So when people um fight on World Star, it gets 1 million views, right? Um, any kind of drama, any kind of controversy, it's gonna get it's gonna get astronomical views because that's what people's attention is. But for the people, everyday working people outside that's out there listening, you might be watching this. I salute you too for handling your business and doing what you got to do to provide for your family every day, regardless if you got $50,000 in cash to show and quote unquote shit on black people or other black people because they don't got it. The fact that you wake up every day and you stay focused, you keep your head down, and you take care of your family makes you a superhero because that's also doing the work, as they say. I heard a lot of people saying you ain't doing the work. Well, doing the work for some people might be in taking care of their 3 or 4 kids and making sure the family's foundation is safe, right?
Yeah.
So salute to all of you for doing the thing you supposed to do. Because I know nobody's gonna give you a pat on the back for doing that, but I will. So
Hey, I appreciate that.
so
Appreciate it.
salute. So salute. Yeah, man. You want anything before we get up out of here?
Yeah, to tag on to that, any of those that are out there that is doing what he just described, taking care of the family, regardless if it's a 9 to 5 or you out there doing a legal hustle and taking care of your family, hit that subscribe button. Let's all get together and make some things happen because we understand. So you got to understand another person's situation because you're already going through that situation. So if you understand what he just said, go ahead and subscribe. Come join us so that we can grow and create something on a different level for the young ones that's coming up. Because the young boys that's out there now are young black boys, and not to separate us from anybody else, but to keep us in a understanding in our community. Y'all are going to be the generation that takes care of us and your future generations. And with the chaos and the malicious way that you're running and reckless thought mindset, we got to get things in order. So respect those elders. Turn to them for advice. Stop turning to each other for advice because you're giving each other the same advice, doing the same thing, and we know what that is. That's insane.
And let me add this, Kinfolk. If you are a young person, and with no disrespect, this ain't no disrespect. Uh, if you're a young person and you got money, that doesn't mean that an older person that doesn't have as much money as you can't give you wisdom and knowledge. Um, it's very important that, okay, so let me go back. So when I was doing my street thing, right, it was the way I was raised was always respect my elders, regardless if the person, you know, if he smoked dope or whatever, you still don't disrespect your elders. You don't you might not have to listen to them, right? You might not want to listen to them or whatever, but you still showing respect because you don't know what life took that person through. Um I can learn something from anybody, bro.
Hmm.
It's about what you're paying attention to when they're talking to you. So I would just advise any young person to always give the elders a chance to fill your ear. If you don't like what they say, like they say, you take the meat and you throw the bone out. Um, but it's very important that we make that connection again, um, because that's like having that's like firemen when they you got to have like 4 or 5 firemen hold the hose, the water hose. One person can't hold it by itself because it's too powerful. So we need a whole group of people holding each part of the rope so we can put the fires out. And I hope that's a good analogy. Yeah, man, tune in next week. We're gonna have a fire show. We're gonna have all the clips ready to go. Um, if you listen on the podcast, please share, download. Again, right now we got Twitter. It's the Kinflow Podcast across all social media: Twitter, Instagram, and YouTube. Give us a like, share it, and tune in, man. Next week, this is the Kinflow Podcast. I'm your host, Big Pound. This is my co-host,
Busy Bee.
Busy B, with the 10-gallon hat on. But it's been fun. It's been real, and we're gonna see y'all on the other side, man. Y'all be good.
Peace and love.